This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Paul. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and joining this stream today. It is very much appreciated. Right, just a quick one today. What we're going to start doing today is we're going to start looking at the horses that we've identified on the YouTube channel. I think there's about 15 or 16 horses that we've identified for National Hunt Racing over the past 4 or 5 months. And we're going to take a look at their performance now, excuse me, on the first 2 days of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. It was fairly quiet, really, over the first 2 days, just the 3 runners. So this is going to be quite a short segment. What we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the races, have a look at the results and that, watch the races, and then see where the horses we identified go from here. Right, the only runner we had on the first day was in the Supreme Novices Hurdle, the opening race at 1:30. And the horse we had there was Chasing Fire. I mean, I was quite optimistic, really, because the horse had never been beaten. It had won its 3 UK novice hurdles in quite nice style, albeit the horse hadn't really been tested in pattern company at all before this race. And I was quite optimistic that the horse would run some sort of race. Before we have a look at the result and we'll see where we got on, let's have a look at the race in full, shall we? I mean, fair use surely allows us to use all these races and review these races in this manner under fair use, which is what we are going to do. The first race is the Supreme Novices Hurdle.
Robbie Supple on top of the rostrum, waiting for them to get a bit closer. They're off! The Skybet Supreme Novices Hurdle gets the festival underway, and Rare Edition in the purple and white silks leads them on the short run to the opening flight, which they've all handled neatly enough, and rank outsider Palace Boy in the blue and yellow is the early back marker, and Marine Nationale settling towards midfield in a yellow jacket just had to be checked back off heels as they make the extended run between the opening 2 flights. And High Definition, purple and white striped sleeves, has now moved through to take over. To Rare Definition, Chasing Fire is just in behind the leaders in the shades of blue, and Dark Raven, the double green, tracking them. Strong leader in a pink cap, a couple lengths off them. Tarmuris in the Noel Feely Racing Syndicate silks, the white cap settles in about 6th or 7th position at this stage, and he's tracked by the grey Dr. Bravo in the red and white. Facile Vega, mid-division, red jacket with the blue sleeves as they close in on the second, little separating the leading pair, and they'd be about 8 lengths from top to tail. So sweeping past pack stands, and it's High Definition narrowly to Chasing Fire racing wide of Rare Definition. They round out the leading trio. Break of a length and a half to strong leader against the fence, working across to Tarmuris and Dark Raven. And then Dr. Bravo to Facile Vega with the blue sleeves in the pocket, and the McManus Hoops is 2/3 of the way back, accompanied by Il Et Etant, the yellow star jacket, and Marine Nationale racing wide of that pair. Then Fenner Cross in the green and white to diverge in the stripes, and Palace Boy continues to look on from last place as they make progress now on towards the third. Rare Edition, white cap just taking it off High Definition once more, with Chasing Fire still a very close third, and a slight error from Palace Boy at the back of the field. On towards the fourth they go. Rare Edition from High Definition. Chasing Fire on the far side, strong leader, the pink cap races a close fourth. Then Tarmuris, Dark Raven in the double green, the grey Dr. Bravo in midfield being shadowed by Facile Vega, who in turn is stalked by Marine Nationale. Then in the pocket, who took that fluently alongside Il Et Etant, the grey who's sandwiched between horses. 2 lengths away to diverge. Fenner Cross in the green and white is last but one, and Palace Boy continues to look on at the tail of the field in the hands of Paddy Brennan. So heading towards halfway, the top of the hill, and they're moving on towards flight 5 in the Supreme. Rare Edition and High Definition inseparable. Il Et Etant just had to reach for that. at 2/3 of the way back through the field, but he's quickly regathered his momentum, and they're about to sweep left-handed and run downhill towards the third last. Still Rare Edition and High Definition the leading duo. Chasing Fire in the Shades of Blues riding behind Strong Leader has the inside on the descent. A little wider out Dark Raven in the Shades of Green. Now the grey Eel Ete Toys making smooth progress. Facile Vega in the blue sleeves, red cap coming with him. Tarmuras, white cap riding behind him. Here's the third last in the Supreme, and a lot of chances here. Bad mistake from Fenner. Cross has knocked him back into last, and one or two jostling for positions as they head towards 2 out. And it's here that Chasing Fire, the white-faced gelding, has moved through to take over, but Facile Vega, blue sleeves, covers the move and jumps to the front. Facile Vega sweeps on. Dark Raven moving up to challenge. Marine National in a yellow jacket follows them into the turn. Then in the pocket in fourth, and Eel Ete Ton. And now Facile Vega is asked to stretch. He kicks over 2 lengths clear on the long run down to the final flight of the Supreme. Marine National is giving chase from Dark Raven. Facile Vega, Marine National is closing in. Here's the last. Facile Vega was long, made a mess of it. Marine National comes sweeping on by, storms to the front. Facile Vega is gathered up, but he's got no response, and it's Marine National who draws away to win the Sky Bet Supreme. Facile Vega is second, running on into third Diverge, and right behind him in fourth in the pocket.
Don't say you weren't told. Barry Connell informed everybody who had ears that Marine National was the best horse in the Supreme Novices Hurdle of 2023.
That has to be said, really, was disappointing to watch live, and it was still as disappointing to watch just then, really. I mean, the Irish horses, the Irish-based horses, just so much better than the UK horses there. I mean, the first UK horse home was Strong Leader in 9th, Tamuras 10th. Even Fonna Cross, who made that awful mistake, managed to beat Chasing Fire, who only managed to beat one home, which was very disappointing, really. You know, the horse just emptied so quickly. It was 1 minute it was going very nicely, approaching the business end of the race, and then the next minute, all the Irish horses just swooped past him, and he was out on his feet, really, after that. Take a look at the horse from the form-wise. You'll see that was in fact the horse's first defeat, and they're also trying to tell us that even though he was beaten so easily, that run was his second best performance in his career. So them horses, he was beaten by 16 lengths at Market Raisin last year. Very average horses indeed. You see he's weighted 136. They haven't even dropped him any weight for that race, finishing 12th. And he was well beaten on the day. No entries, of course, for the horse at this stage. So that was day one over, really. We had to lick our wounds there and head on to day two. And we were again represented in the first race, really. The first race of the day was the Ballymore. Just get the race lined up for everybody, and we will have a look at that race as well. That race featured Gaelic Warrior. Very impressive winner of a handicap hurdle on his last start at the Dublin Racing Festival. And he was also placed at the festival last year in the Boodles handicap hurdle. This was actually his first run in Group 1 company, and he went off the second favourite for this race, as opposed to Chasing Fire, who was in the market, one of the also runs on the first day. At least on the first race of the second day, we went there with something looking like a reasonable chance of a run. But then again, with the pedigree of Chasing Fire, I was very hopeful he would outrun his odds. Well, enough about Chasing Fire, though. We need to now start thinking about Gaelic Warrior in the Ballymore. It looked a decent renewal of the race, and I was hoping for good things here because I really do like this horse. Very nice horse, Gaelic Warrior. So let's see how we got on.
And a slow walk onto the hurdles course, and they level up towards the starting tape. They're off. Away for the Ballymore, the first race on day number 2. Champ Kylie is the first of them to have the advantage. A handy little lead already, about 3 lengths ahead to Hermes Allen as they get over flight number 1 of 10. The maroon jacket of Master Chewy was the back marker. A red cap for American Mike is sharing third place with Impere Pass in the 2 shades of green. And then the Good Land in a yellow jacket as they jump 2. Pink colours of Gaelic Warrior is next, ahead of the grey horse, which is Marble Sands. Then the white cap of Ho My Lord, he won the Best Turned Out award before the race. Master Chewy is next, and Persian Time is with him, just at the rear of the field as they make the turn out of the centre of the course. There'll be a good 12 lengths first to last here, with about a 2-length advantage. Danny Mullins on Champ Kylie leading. From Harry Cobden, Hermes Allen running in second place. Davy Russell is next. Green and white jacket, a red cap on American Mike. He's one off the running rails. Next to him is Paul Townend in 2 shades of green on Impere Pass. Behind those, they come now towards flight number 3. The yellow jacket, Michael O'Sullivan on Good Land, leading rider for the meeting so far on 2. Behind these is Gaelic Warrior in the pink colours as they clear the third. And then the white cap is Mark Walsh on Ho My Lord. The dark blue and pink colours, Paddy Brennan on Marble Sands. Behind those, maroon and white jacket, Sam Tristan Davis on Master Chewy. Adrian Heskin, blue and white jacket, maroon sleeves, maroon cap on Persian Time continues to be the back marker. It's a long run before flight number 4. And there's still a furlong or so from it. No change in the order, and a good 12-15 lengths first to last here, so quite well strung out in this Ballymore Novices Hurdle as Champ Kylie moves on towards number 4. Just over a length ahead, immediately slipstreamed by the fancied runner Hermes Allen in second. And then comes American Mike. Imperi passes behind those. 2 lengths behind. Took that in 4th position as they swing left-handed, then a circuit to go. Good Land in the yellow is next to Gaelic Warrior, and then comes Ho My Lord in the yellow hoops, about 3 off the running rail. They're followed by Master Chewy against the rail. In company with him is Marble Sands, and then Persian Time continues to be the back marker. So left-handed away towards the far side. 6 more flights of hurdles to take. And Champ Kylie, Danny Mullins have been allowed to sit in front here, dictating the pace they want. They have a 2-length lead. Hermes Allen is running in second position. American Mike and Impere Pass maybe just getting closer to this leading pair in 3rd and 4th places. Behind those is Good Land with Gaelic Warrior as they come then to flight number 5. American Mike maybe a little bit slower than some of his rivals. The back marker continues to be Persian Time. Ho My Lord lost a few places jumping that one. He's regained them now. He's going past Marble Sands and Master Chewy at the rear of the field. Hermes Allen is beginning to draw level with Champ Kylie as they come towards this next flight of hurdles. There'll be about a length and a half behind those two, Impere Pass and the red cap of American Mike, who are together in 3rd and 4th, and maybe 2 lengths behind those to Gaelic Warrior in company with the yellow jacket of Good Land. Ho My Lord is next, and then a length further back to Marble Sands around the outside of Master Chewy. Persian Time is a length and a half behind those. So right up to the top of the hill they go. 4 more to jump from here at the 4th last, and Hermes Allen jumps through to a very slender lead over Champ Kylie in second position. There's about a neck between them. Impere passes a length and a half, maybe 2 behind him in 3rd. Then comes Good Land in the yellow, coming up on the inside of American Mike. Behind these is Gaelic Warrior. And then comes Ho My Lord. They're followed by the grey, which is Marble Sands, then Master Chewy as they freewheel down to 3 out. Persian Time is the back marker. So it's Champ Kylie, Hermes Allen. We're right in behind him, Impere Pass. Good Land is there. Gaelic Warrior trying to make progress. American Mike is right in behind those. On the extreme left is Master Chewy trying to make progress as well as they move down towards the second last. Champ Kylie to Hermes Allen. Impere Pass in the green, in the yellow Good Land. They're both poised in 3rd and 4th places as they jump the second last. Champ Kylie is still battling on in front here with the lead. Impere Pass has got a lovely split against the running rail there as they swing into the straight. And now Paul Tarnand on Impere Pass has taken it up. Champ Kylie in second position, Gaelic Warrior behind those. They're followed by Good Land as they move down towards the last flight. Impere Pass will come to the 10th and last with a 4 or 5 length advantage. At it now, pings it, got away from it well. Second position, the pink of Gaelic Warrior joined Champ Kylie. Behind those Good Land, but it's Impere Pass is going to remain unbeaten. He strides to the line for victory in the Ballymore with Paul Tarnand. Gaelic Warrior second, Champ Kylie in third, Good Land behind those, and maybe in fifth position Hermes Allen to Marble Sands.
Mullins at it again, demolishes a stellar field, serious horse, Impere Pass, writing on the wall a lot.
That was a very good performance by the Simon Munir and Isaac Swede owned Impere Pass there in the Ballymore, I think. One of the performances of the week. I think that could prove to be in time. Gaelic Warrior is a very good horse. Very well bred horse. And he was made to look average there by Impere Pass. And Gaelic Warrior, in my view, unlike Chasing Fire, he lost absolutely nothing in defeat. Gaelic Warrior. If people look at the form of the horse moving forward, you will see that solid run of 153 was deemed not as high as when it won a conditions hurdle at Clonmel in January, or when it won the handicap hurdle at the Dublin Festival. A solid run of 153, his fourth run over 150 this year, and his first defeat since finishing second behind Brazil at the festival last year. I mean, this horse is still only 5 and has immense potential. I think one thing I will say in that race is nobody really wants to be on the inside at Cheltenham on soft ground. You know, it's not really the place, in my view, that people want to be. And that horse just took its medicine well, came through and finished 6th. I mean, I'm not saying it's a better horse on better ground. It just isn't. Look, all its runs have come with soft in the going description. But it's just that particular track on good ground. On soft ground, it's better to come off the rail. And that one really went round the shortest way round, all the inside on arguably the worst ground. But that could have been deliberate, looking at the preference of the horse for heavy ground and some of its runs as well. Moving forward, you'll see again. There's no entries for the horse as people always, I think, reevaluate after Cheltenham. You've got the Easter meeting at Fairyhouse in Ireland, featuring the Irish Grand National. You've got a couple of days after that, the meeting at Aintree in Liverpool in England for the English Grand National. And then you've got the Punchestown Festival in Ireland. And then you've got other races like just below that level, like the Scottish Grand National meeting at Ayr. And then you've got the final meeting of the weekend at Sandown with a couple of Grade 2 races as well. But I would feel that Gaelic Warrior, to me, I think we will see him again this year. But there is no sign when that will be at this stage. The last race of the second day that I had an interest in on the site was in the bumper, the National Hunt Flat race on day 2, which is a Grade 1 and is always the last race of the day. Quite unusual for me, really, to be looking at bumper horses. I blame my good friend and colleague Steve Allpress for that this year. This year I've looked at more bumpers than probably I've ever looked in my life before. So as a consequence of that, we actually did go into the champion bumper on the second day with a runner for us this year. And it was in the colours that just won the previous race, the double green. And the mare in question is Fun, Fun, Fun. She turned up at the champion bumper on the back of 2 wins this year in National Hunt Flat racing. She's bred by Patrick Mullins and she'd been ridden by Patrick Mullins on both her starts as well. She's switched ownership in between the first win and the second win. Patrick Mullins still rode her when she won a Grade 2 race at the Dublin Racing Festival. But it was the retained jockey of the owners, Darryl Jacob, who took the ride on the mare on the Wednesday of the champion bumper. And again, you know, I was quite confident here that we get something good for us. The market vibes before the race were actually quite positive, probably more positive than any of our two runners on the previous 2 days. And I was hopeful, really, that she'd be able to do herself justice. Before we do that, let's just get the race up. Hopefully it will be there.
The approach.
Plenty of them milling about at the start there, as you saw so quickly. So I will stop waffling on and we will review the 2023 Cheltenham Festival bumper, and we'll see how our horse Fun got on. And then I will come back, give my thoughts on how the horse performed, and then we'll wrap up. All right, this is the champion bumper from day 2 of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival.
The approach. They're off for the Weatherby's Champion Bumper, the race that rounds out day 2 of the festival, and it's Westport Cove in the emerald green, who goes freely in front and bounds on by a couple of lengths early to Chosen Witness in the dark blue, racing handily. Western Diego in a grey jacket is another one inclined to take a bit of a grip early on. Captain Cody, orange with a blue cap, is close up in the leading line, followed by Captain Teague, spot the pink cap, royal blue soles for Harry Cobden, and Canto Bruno in the black and white, Lecky Watson, white face, in about 8th position at this stage, with Dar in an emerald green cap. Loch Glynn in the stripes is towards midfield as they continue steady progress up the straight first time. Also in midfield, Favour and Fortune with the white sleeves and cap. Beachcomber is buried away with Fiercely Proud in the dark green. Nosebanded Queen's Gamble towards the rear as they cover by about 12 lengths going on the incline. So meeting rising ground, Westport Cove to Chosen Witness racing a close second, Western Diego in third, Captain Cody, royal blue cap in fourth. Being followed by Captain Tegan and Canto Bruno, and then Lecky Watson to Dar, Loch Glynn, Facile Mode in a red and grey jacket. And then towards the outside, the white cap of Factor File in the hoops. He's racing upsides the likes of Facile Mode and Loch Glynn. Beachcomber's tucked away on the inner in behind Favour and Fortune as they begin the descent at the end now of 3/4 of a mile. Slightly worse than midfield, Fiercely Proud in the dark green silks. Queen's Gamble continues to be held up. Fun is another of those held up with a white cap. So too Dream to Share and No Time to Wait and Chapeau du Soleil. It's a very patient ride from Paul Townend on It's For Me, who's just about last of all in the double green, and better days ahead, Jamie Codd in the white and green, red cap on the far side of the rear cluster. Up ahead, Westport Cove still hasn't settled, but has now been headed by Chosen Witness in the dark blue, who moves on narrowly. Rounding out the leading 3 is Captain Cody, followed by Western Diego in fourth, and then Encanto Bruno as they go through halfway to Captain Teague. Dar with a green cap alongside Lecky Watson, and then Favour and Fortune to Loch Glynn and Facile Mode and Fiercely Proud, and then Beachcomber and Fun, No Time to Wait. Dream to Share, the star on the cap, is towards the rear, and at this stage is tracking his owner mate Factor File, who's got the white cap. Chapeau du Soleil is in the last group of 4, still very patiently ridden. It's For Me is in that last group of 3 pretty much, and the last 2 as they begin the descent and come down the hill are Better Days Ahead, and Queen's Gamble is just about last of all. So beginning to freewheel in the Weatherby's Champion bumper, and up ahead it's Chosen Witness alongside Captain Cody. Western Diego, grey jacket, continues to pull very hard. Westport Cove in behind has lost a little ground. They're beginning to stack up in behind the leaders. Up on the outer, Encanto Bruno in the black and white, wider out Lecky Watson in the red and white with Facile Mode and Factor File the white cap. Captain Teague in the blue and pink is towards the inner on the right, followed there by Favour and Fortune and Dar, who's being ridden along. Fiercely Proud, dark green with the maroon cap, not far off them as Western Diego has pulled his way to the front under Rachel Blackmore. Beginning the swing back towards home, chased now by Captain Cody and Canto Bruno. Here's Lecky Watson on the outer, and then from the rear, running on, Factor File away to the left, and further left, A Dream to Share. Climbing now for the last furlong and a half. Captain T coming through to challenge Western Diego. Here's A Dream to Share, and Factor File squeezed out out Lecky Watson in a rough finish. Captain Cody is next, deep inside the last furlong. A dream to share for a dream result in the champion bumper. Factor File from McManus 1-2, and it's Teenage Clicks for John Gleeson. A dream to share from Factor File. Captain Teague in third, close fourth Lecky Watson. It's for me running on, and Captain Cody in what was a rough finish to the champion bumper.
You can buy my horse, JP, but I'd like my son to ride it. What a story.
Again, rather like the race on the first day, the Supreme Novices Hurdle. We never really got a run for our money there. Very disappointing run from Fun in the champion bumper on the second day. See some nice horses there again. You'll see the English finishing third was the best they could do there. It's for me, the stablemate actually beat Fun, who could only finish in 15th position, running to a mark of 108. It did weaken, it was towards the rear, it tried to make a move through, and it was just not good enough really to get in the race at all. It never at any stage looked like it was going to get involved. It did beat some home, but if people look at the race, there's a lot more in front of Fun than behind her, which for a horse as well bred as she is, can only be described as a very disappointing outcome. Another one to lose her unbeaten record. That run in the champion bumper, according to the figures that we have to believe on the Racing Post, is the worst run of her career of 108. She ran better when we were winning at Sligo when we identified her, and a long way behind the 122 they said she ran at the Dublin Festival. Very disappointing outcome there for Fun. We'll check the entries again, and rather like the other two horses that ran at the Cheltenham Festival, there are no engagements at all at the moment. So that's probably for the best, really. They all look to have hard races. Gaelic Warrior ran very well indeed, it's fair to say. But the other two, well, they were disappointing. There's no two ways about it. No getting away from it. Very disappointing runs. What I will do now is wrap the video up. I will hopefully be back with a look at the third and the fourth day of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival at some point. What I'll do before I leave the video up is I will leave a couple of steers at the end. One, allowing people to have seen this content to subscribe on the YouTube channel if they do wish. And the other one will be a list of National Hunt horses. That will also be available to those viewing on the YouTube channel. For those who have viewed on Twitch, thank you very much for supporting the channel where we do our live streams. It is very much appreciated. Thank you very much for following and watching the channels as you have been at the moment. Right, I'll leave that video there. Safe to say the first 2 days of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival didn't go how we expected. But like I said, this is a very small part. These novice races are just the very first rungs on the ladder for these National Hunt horses' careers. But we do like to take them out. We've got other opportunities left at Aintree, Fairyhouse and Punchestown along the way. But there has been no victories on the first 2 days of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Maybe we should have stuck to the flat. Those interested in our flat output can head to classicwatch2023.ml, where the horses are really in the very early stages of beginning to sort themselves out ahead of the flat classics. But for now, I will leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody, and take care.